Hello, I'm Mike Bartley, Director of the Connecticut Department of Labor Jobs First Employment Services Program, commonly referred to as the JFES program. The goal of the Jobs First program is to help people who are receiving temporary family assistance or welfare benefits to find work so that they can become independent of cash assistance and move their families out of poverty. All participants in the program are assigned to a case manager who works closely with them to overcome their challenges to obtain employment and develops an individualized employment plan that will put the participant on a path to employment in order to better provide for their families. Participants engage in a variety of activities each week, ranging from job searching, attending adult education classes, participating in vocational skills training, participating in employment programs with area employers, and performing community service. Special benefits are available to program participants such as childcare and transportation assistance so that they can engage in these employment services. On March 14, 2020, Governor Lamont issued a COVID-19 executive order, which resulted in the JFES program being temporarily suspended at the American Job Centers. All participants were given the opportunity to continue with case management and employment services through virtual means. Even though our program participants were not required to participate in employment activities as a result of the pandemic, 46% of our participants voluntarily chose to participate in employment services and received supports between March 2020 and June 2020. Next, we will share some interesting facts and figures about the JFES program with you.
Connecticut's Jobs First Employment Services program is helping families gain employment to enrich their lives without the need for cash assistance. JFES participants received services at the American Job Centers located throughout the state until March 2020, when the American Job Centers temporarily closed and employment services transitioned from being provided in person to virtually. During this time, JFES case managers conducted all meetings and communications by email, phone, and/or video conferencing. They continued to provide participants with online career guidance and job search and resume assistance, and helped participants identify local resources to assist their families that were in crisis due to COVID-19. Although the JFES program emphasizes a work-first approach, each family is different and had unique needs and goals. So, case managers worked closely with each participant to identify both their strengths and their challenges. 3 key initiatives were implemented this past year to better support families. First, the Department of Labor and the 5 workforce development boards partnered with the Connecticut Association for Human Services, which provided a financial literacy workshop to help JFES participants improve their knowledge, confidence, and skills in managing their personal finances. 90% of those enrolled in the workshop indicated they strongly agreed that it was engaging and interesting and provided useful information. The second initiative implemented by the Department of Labor was Stronger Families, Stronger Futures in the North Central region in partnership with the Office of Early Childhood, the Village for Families and Children, and Capital Workforce Partners. Stronger Families, Stronger Futures is an innovative, holistic home visiting program for parents and caregivers with children from prenatal to age 5. The goals of this initiative are to provide interested JFES participants in the region with home-based services and support, information on parenting and healthy child development, and connections to valuable resources. The final initiative that was implemented during the state fiscal year 2020 was to have JFES case managers credentialed as experts in all aspects of the art of job interviewing. Each case manager received the Certified Employment Interview Professional Credential through the Professional Association of Resume Writers and Career Coaches, a nationally recognized organization. Connecticut was the first state to pursue a mass credentialing of staff. This credential allowed case managers to fully prepare participants for all types of interviews, including virtual interviews such as FaceTime or Zoom sessions. The JFES program is administered by the Connecticut Department of Labor in partnership with the Connecticut Department of Social Services and the 5 workforce development boards: Capital Workforce Partners, Workforce Alliance, the Northwest Regional Workforce Investment Board, the Workplace Incorporated, and the Eastern Connecticut Workforce Investment Board. During the state fiscal year 2020, 5,369 low-income families were served. The Jobs First Employment Services program assists a diverse population. 84% of participants were female. Most participants were between the ages of 18 and 33. The challenges facing Jobs First Employment Services participants are extensive. The most commonly reported barriers to employment included the lack of access to or the inability to pay for transportation and/or childcare, food insecurity, limited work history, and mental health. 85% of JFES participants had multiple barriers to employment. In addition, 24% did not have a high school diploma or GED. During the state fiscal year 2020, 40% of JFES participants were working. Average wages were $12.68 per hour. The Department of Labor is committed to working closely with its partner agencies to further develop virtual services and resources that will support JFES participants along their journey.